God damn it, shut ass Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan said nothing as Donald Trump tried to overthrow democracy and install himself as a dictator. Nothing as insurrectionists stormed the Capitol building, tried to overthrow our government, overturn the will of the people. In fact, on election night, he was cheering like a giddy little girl as Trump won Texas. Had nothing to say about it. Probably the most Hitler-esque president in the history of this country. No one has pushed us towards the fascism that was similar to Nazi Germany more than Donald Trump did. But while he remains silent about this, Joe Rogan just put out a new video entitled Freedom, because, you know, dumb is always free with Joe Rogan, which shows Nazi imagery and compares vaccine mandates to the Holocaust in Nazi Germany. Because, you know, isn't that what they really do to the Jews? Weren't they trying to save all their lives and protect our public during a pandemic? Isn't that what the Nazis really did?
As soon as you give politicians power, any kind of power that didn't exist previously, if they can figure out a way to force you into carrying something that lets you enter businesses or lets you do this or lets businesses open, historically, they are not going to give that power up. They find new reasons to use it.
I'll be back.
We have to protect those freedoms at all costs, whether you agree with people's choices or not, because it is the foundation that this country was founded on. Freedom.
Freedom!
This idea of freedom. There's so many people that think it's frivolous, it's not important, it's not the main thing that we should be focused on, but it is the literal structure that allows...
Joe Rogan literally does not give a shit about this. It's just like the Dave Chappelle thing. He was criticized by the left for spreading misinformation, and instead of having any kind of introspection and being able to tackle his ego and admit that he's wrong, he doubles down on it, and he realizes that if he feeds into these right-wing narratives, he gets supported by right-wing shitheads who flood his goddamn channel and kiss his ass, lick his balls all day. And he loves that because he's a goddamn egomaniac.
Allows this country to be so fucking amazing. Every single country that's ever existed other than the United States, up until 1776, every fucking country that has ever existed was run by dictators. All of them.
Not
this
true.
is the first experiment in self-government that actually worked. And it created the greatest superpower the world's ever known. It created the greatest cultural machine, the greatest machine of art and creativity and innovation right fucking here. And how did it do that? It did it through freedom. And as soon as you see something, anything that comes along...
So the sad part is, it was already pointed out to Joe Rogan by people like me, but many other people, that everything he's saying here is wrong. Yet he still posted this video recently because he doesn't actually give a shit about what the truth is.
And inhibits your freedom. You should be very cautious about that. You should be very suspicious. Because anything that comes along that can inhibit your freedom is, by definition, anti-American.
So, yeah, Joe Rogan put out that. So, unfortunately, this hero who was alive during the Nazi regime had to make this video calling out Joe Rogan. Here's Holocaust survivor, 86-year-old, get on leave.
Mr. Joe Rogan, I am an 86-year-old survivor of the Holocaust and saw your video on American freedom and the COVID vaccine. It included images of the Holocaust and of Adolf Hitler, the monster who murdered my father, 26 members of my family, and 6 million Jews and others, in gas chambers, in ditches, in firing squads, and even in gas trucks. You are absolutely not promoting freedom, but you're promoting hate, anti-Semitism, and possibly even more violence and constant hate. You should apologize to us all. Remove the video immediately.
He doesn't give a shit.
And it is disgusting and thoughtless and careless. And I am shocked by your lack of sensitivity. You want to speak about freedom? Come and speak to me.
Yeah, well, he's just like Dave Chappelle. He's got his hundreds of millions. He's rich as shit, and he don't give a fuck anymore.